The other day I was going through a bag of gear and I came across these three orphans. You got one of my issue butt packs and an old Canteen pouch and an old war belt from my DEUCE GEAR days. You know, I need to give these to the thrift store or somebody. Actually, I know a young boy I may give to so he can play war. But they in their time they served well and and did a good job. You know, I don't even have the whole thing anymore. I don't have a Y or H harness. I don't have but one of these. I don't have any of the old M16 mag pouches. And for good reason. There's a lot better gear out there now. Nothing wrong with this stuff. And if you're outfitting with this because it's cheap as could be, God bless you. There's nothing wrong with this stuff. If I did not have access to better gear, I would not be ashamed of sporting this stuff. I wore it for a long time and it was great gear. But there's a modern version of 782 gear that is just a little bit better. It's the same thing, it's just better materials. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to dig through and throw a piece of 782 gear together, you know, the whole ensemble, and see what it looks like. All right, so I have the H harness attached to the battle belt, and the first thing you want to do is get the H harness and battle belt situated for you without anything on it. And where you really want this to end up is, I like the bottom of the battle belt or war belt to be right at my normal belt height, my normal pants belt height. That way this is sitting kind of on your belly, a little bit above that. And remember, while this isn't made for running, if you did have to run, you want this stuff up above your hips, so the belt and the stuff on the belt doesn't get in the way of you you run high stepping it, you know. Now the next thing I'm going to do is throw this Tactical Tailor butt pack on. This is a great butt pack. Tactical Tailor doesn't make it anymore. Not sure why. Now some people will say that this is too big for a butt pack, and I'd say it's right at the limit. But what I think is neat about it is if you had to, you could wear it as a backpack. And you know, in the old days, I've actually worn two butt packs, one on top of the other, and that would work out. That would work out. When I picked this Tactical Tailor butt pack up, I was going to do a review of it, and I wrote Tactical Tailor and asked them why it wasn't on their website anymore. And that's when I found out that they don't make it anymore, so not much reason to do a review. This is basically a Alice pack in butt pack size. I mean, it really is. They've basically made an Alice pack. They've even got the recesses behind the pockets so that you can put stuff in there. I mean, it's basically a baby Alice pack. All right, now I've put the mag holders on, and with DEUCE GEAR, I mean, mainly you're wanting to be able to carry ammo, water, and you know, if you've got room for something else, you know, an MRE or a poncho or something like that, that's great. A knife, but ammo and water, that's the main thing. So here's how I've done it. I've got these two mag carriers that hold the mag flat toward the front on both sides. This one happens to be a Black Hawk. That one's, I think, a True Spec, but they're the same thing. And I have them there so that they create less, they stick out less. So if you're down on your belly crawling, number one, this big flap protects the magazine, but also you can get closer down. You can get closer down to the ground. And then I have on what would be pretty much the side, maybe say at, I don't know, 13, at the 13 o'clock. 13 o'clock? No. At the 13 on the, on the clock. I have the 3 magazine holder that holds the mags like this. And I have that, again, on both sides. Now notice something. For the magazine holder on the front, it's flatter and it's farther up. I've placed it so that it's farther up on the belt. For the magazine holder toward the side, it sticks out more and it's farther down. Now why is that? Because as you're wearing this, you're going to have a harder time reaching these mags because they're around to the side of you if they're higher up. So I've let them go down. Does that make sense? All right, now I finished this out with a canteen pouch, the Canteen. And over here, I didn't have another of the Coyote canteen pouches. So I put in a dump pouch. Now if I had it, I would put another canteen pouch in because that more closely mirrors the old Marine Corps 782 gear setup and what I know and love. Dump pouches, you know, as my 5 faithful subscribers know, I invented the dump pouch, and you can go back and see the video on that. But for the real estate that they take up, I'm not sure it's worth it. This idea that you're going to be in the assault and moving so fast that you don't have time to put an empty mag back into your magazine pouch, it seems spurious to me. The assault's probably going to be a leapfrog. It's probably going to be a lot of gaining ground by the foot rather than by the walk. And I just don't know about the dump pouch. I tell you, the dump pouch, in my opinion, is the modern day version of the forage cap. I just don't know that they need to be taking up valuable real estate on your war belt. So there you have it, a little more modern take on 782 gear, and I'm pretty happy with it. As I said, you're carrying 10 mags, which is good. You know, you've got the comfort of an H harness, and that is a modern, comfortable H harness. Very padded belt, much more padded than the old days. Huge, maybe too huge of a butt pack, but you've got the room to carry the water that you need and the first aid gear. And that is 782 gear. That's war gear. That's battle rattle right there. That's the kind of stuff they wore in Vietnam. It's the kind of stuff I wore in the 80s and 90s. And it's still good gear. And it was kind of fun putting this together. Just a little mental exercise. And I hope you enjoyed it.